everybody. Welcome to another edition of the NBA Slate Starter Podcast. I'm Eric, joined with my buddy Ryan as we break down Thursday's 11-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings, FanDuel, and our sponsor, Yahoo. We're in the middle of a weird Wednesday here where every Atlanta player was chalk, except for Skylar Mace, but hopefully you didn't play him. I played a little bit. It was stupid. But either way, Robert Williams really worked out. That was a nice thing to have over on FanDuel. On our sponsor, Yahoo, I've got Halliburton going. I'm in the top 10 right now of the 12 days of winning. Nothing better than playing well on your sponsor site. Hopefully you can make a push for that 5K that we're looking for. Top prize. 2 days left to go of that. Make sure you jump in that. But Ryan, how's your night going?
I could be better. A little malfunction error on my end on the site DraftKings happens. I'm usually due for one or so every
2 weeks,
couple months. Yeah.
Oh, okay. 2 months.
Yeah, it had been some time, so I was definitely due for one to happen. You just move on. Unfortunately, just couldn't get it in time, and it just didn't work out. So
did you not upload any dummy lineups or anything?
Usually my dummy lineup is a good late night lineup.
Okay.
But unfortunately, you needed Mr. Cam Reddish, who I was very high on. I had a lot of him on all the other sites, but it'll work out on FanDuel. We'll see. It's going to go into Paul George if Paul George can outscore Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, which seems unlikely as SGA put up a bonkers 63 fantasy points. If you don't have SGA, you're not going to win, I don't think, tonight.
Yeah, my highest owned was Cam Reddish. I apologize. But, I mean, I was looking at shorting him before he was in the starting lineup. Getting that, I don't know what I was expecting out of the starting lineup, but I didn't expect him to be in it. I thought Bogdanovich would be there alongside. There were a number of paths that they could have taken for that starting lineup with Collins at the 4. And, obviously Jang losing to Okong was just so tilting. It's not even real life. Different site we play on a little bit here and there for shows. It's not going to go well because somehow he got to 24 fantasy points when I was just shorting him everywhere. He did get less than 9.5 points, so I didn't get completely blackballed there. But, whatever. We move on, Ryan. Such is life, but make sure we always get those CSVs in. Again, I'm preaching to the choir because there are multiple times on Live Before Locks where I've gone it's gone to the wire, and it is not an enjoyable feeling. But upload dummy lineups if you can, or have a cash lineup in that you might be okay with. Or what Ryan said, you have late game exposure, so he's still live as we're speaking. Clippers and Kings just need to go to quadruple overtime is the way I look at it. Let's do that. How about that?
I don't even know if quadruple overtime will overcome a guy who goes for 50 at 3,700.
It's 49-38 at halftime of that game.
Yeah, it's the highest over under total. So I was like, maybe it could work out. And they were the highest over under by 10 points, I think.
And they have legitimately under 90 at halftime.
Yeah, they're gonna have to pop off in the second half. So there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. Oh my God. Everybody hit that like button as we get going here. Hit the subscribe button as well if you're watching us on YouTube. But that like button specifically goes a long way for us. I appreciate that. Also, how great is Ryan's setup today? Every time those lights shift right above your head, I mean, you're just showing off here. I like when it goes to the purple. It matches. I've got the Yahoo Fantasy here. We've got the overlay up in the corner there. And then now right there, look at that. It's so beautiful. It matches perfectly.
Yeah, there's a way to halt it on the purple. I'll have to figure it out for next time.
Hashtag how rich. All right, everybody. Hit 5 stars too, because again, I'm not rich. I just need you guys to hit that 5-star review for us on the Apple podcast spot. That would be fantastic. Listen to us on Google Play, Spotify, anywhere else you get your podcasts. But Apple is the only place that you can leave us a 5-star review. I'm going to do a Christmas giveaway. Personally, Eric Lindquist is going to be doing a Christmas giveaway tomorrow. So you're going to want to check out that version of the Slate Starter. I'm letting you know right now. I'm promising it. It's happening. I will get the specifics for it for you tomorrow, but I want to run a little Slate Starter promotion. So make sure you check out our Christmas episode, which will be taping tomorrow night for the 25th. Looking forward to that. It's going to be festive and lovely. And I will say, I'm feeling a little nostalgic because this exact day, December 22nd, was the very first Slate Starter Season 1 episode that we shot. Ryan gave me an opportunity to come aboard here at Awesemo, do some stuff, and I mean, here we go. Like now you guys get to deal with me on a bunch of Live Before Lock. So blame Ryan is what I'm getting at. No, I'm just kidding. Ryan, appreciate it. Any nostalgic feelings that you have now that we're 1 year into the Slate Starter?
Yeah, it's kind of wild. It's been 1 year. Probably done over 200 plus shows at this point. I've lost count. If anyone has been keeping count at home, let us know the total show count that Eric and I have done together. We didn't miss a show last year. We've missed a handful this year. At least I have.
I got married, dude.
Yeah.
I got married and went on a honeymoon. I was not going to be doing. Welcome to the Slate Starter podcast, live from Hawaii. I'm in a lot of trouble, joined with my buddy who's also in a lot of trouble, breaking down this slate that I can't even play from Hawaii.
Yeah, so it's been a fun ride, and I'm hoping the listeners have joined the ride, and we've grown a nice little Slate Starter community. I just want to say thank you for all those who have listened night in and night out. 1 year goes by really fast, and hopefully we've made you some winners over the nights, and more importantly, more winners to come.
More winners to come. Well, we got 11 games to get to. No more emotional whatever we were just doing here. Ryan, you ready to get going? My guy.
Let's ride.
Let's ride to the top. We go to guard on DraftKings. Steph Curry, 11-9. This eternal, his price will never change number here. He failed again in a phenomenal spot against Sacramento. They're a good basketball team. And there's going to be times where he can just fade into the corner and whatever. DraftKings is just going to make you pay for Steph Curry from now until forever, because as soon as he was going to be, 10K, 11K on any of these slates, he would be very, very popular. But at 11-9, he's going to be contrarian again. It's a phenomenal spot going up against Memphis that just got one Ja Morant back into the mix, which is, by the way, so fantastic to see. I thought we lost him for the season when that injury happened live. So great to see him back. But Steph Curry, 11-9. I don't know how you prioritize it, but of course he's got a ceiling. But LeBron James, more of a priority for me. This team is very, very bad, but a Spurs matchup, nobody on the other side is going to be able to play with LeBron James. If LeBron decides to do LeBron things, 11-3 for him there. Doncic continuing to be out. Russell Westbrook, 10-7 here. We're starting to see some of that upside here for him. He's just turning the ball over at like an unbelievable clip. They got knocked out of the park by Phoenix, and it is what it is. He's 10-7, another contrarian spot, as will DeJounte Murray, 10-3. However, coming off of a 70-plus explosion in 31 minutes, he might be the guy that people actually prioritize as a spend up at guard. Do you agree?
No, I don't agree. I think
good talk.
I think those are all great spend up option. 11-game slate. My eyes just fall to an $8,300 Drew Holiday.
Shit.
Giannis is still not going to be there, and Drew Holiday has clearly 50-point upside. He did it against Houston. $8,300 is too cheap, even though with Middleton back, I think Drew Holiday makes for an outstanding play at that price tag. If you don't like going to Drew Holiday, which if you have some reasons why, I don't know why you wouldn't. You can go to a Tyler Hero, a little cheaper, in a matchup versus Detroit. I think Tyler Hero can be the lead dog now as he comes back. Cam Reddish is $4,600. I think he's priced a little too cheap for 50-point upside. Yeah, the guard position, and then we got to touch on Kemba Walker, who's $5,900. Derrick Rose will not play for over 2 months. Derrick Rose had an ankle surgery. It is the Kemba Walker show yet again for Tom Thibodeau. I think Obi Toppin is the only one who cleared protocols, but Nerlens Noel entered protocol. So same number of bodies there, but it's the Kemba Walker show yet again.
Nerlens Noel and his 5% usage. That'll be not affecting Kemba Walker. He's going to be full go here, ready to rock. He's playing like 40 minutes. How does somebody go from out of the rotation to playing 40 minutes? Oh yeah, COVID. That's what it is. I forgot.
Tom Thibodeau.
Or Tom Thibodeau. Just so nonsensical, because you'd think there would be a middle ground where you could play Kemba for some minutes, but I guess Goran Dragic kind of doing the same thing in Toronto, just taking a nap. Just they kind of agree they don't want him to get hurt or lose any kind of trade value or something like that. But when you go to 0 to 100 like Tom Thibodeau, there's nothing like it. 5,900, definitely squarely in play for the second straight slate. Both times starting, both times going over 40. He's going to project out very, very nicely there. No question about it. I guess for me, just DeJounte Murray is like my preferred tournament spend up. Is probably the right way of saying it, because he's got a massive ceiling. I've been, nagging on the fact that Derek White has kind of tempered some of the upside. Well, if he's going to do stuff like that, that's really nice to see. And Atlanta is going to be crazy, crazy, chalky. Once again, some of the guys got a price bump up, but Cam Reddish coming off of a monster game here. At least he got a price bump of nearly $1,000. He's up to 4,600, but that's not enough. All of these guys are going to be guys that we're looking to go back to. And again, it's an 11 gamer. I find it impossible with how many guys are in health and safety protocols. I saw 70 plus guys here right now that are in health and safety protocols in the NBA. Some are returning. It's always like a number that's in flux because I literally cannot keep track of it. I'm just, somebody that does my spreadsheet in the afternoon based on the news that we have, and we're ready to rock. And by the way, really cool feature though, like Jordan Klein, Wafi, other guys have been like incorporating into the show, putting the injury report up live. Really, really cool. Hopefully that's helpful to you guys on Live Before Locks and Deeper Dives as well. But the rest of the guard position, so many places you could look to. Brunson, though, is now up to 8,500. No thanks. Guys have kind of gotten priced out of the slate, but Derek White, 6,700 is not Tyler Hero you talked about already. I think that's a great call. Pat Connaughton is probably a little bit too expensive at 5,200 with Grayson Allen, who just out of the middle of nowhere didn't play today. Hopefully nobody got burned by that one. And you saw it and could read through the tea leaves of him not starting for the first time that he wasn't going to play. But he's 4,500 there. I guess you could take shots, but it's going to be very, very stars and scrubsy. No question about it. D-Line Wright, 4,200. I don't know. He wasn't that exciting today, but he's still cheap. Going over to FanDuel, though, top end, DeJounte Murray, 9,900, your first listed guard there. That's pretty crazy to see that he's more expensive than not just Drew Holiday at 9,500, but Steph Curry's down to 9,700 there. Stayed at the exact same number. Russell Westbrook, $100 more there. LaMelo Ball, 9,600. John Morant, 8,900. Again, good to see him back, but I don't think the minutes will get there for a little while. 28 minutes, 40 points. We're looking for a little bit more on that tag, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander coming off of an absolute monster here today. Looking at this spot against Phoenix, much, much more difficult matchup. Do you have any hopes that he can recreate what he did tonight?
No, I don't. Not against
that was quick.
Not against Phoenix. And FanDuel, I mean, guys who have point guard, shooting guard eligible. Right off the bat, I mean, the Atlanta guys going to be a staple yet again, Wright and Reddish. It's tough to go really wrong with Delon Wright and Cam Reddish tomorrow. 4,500, 4,300 for those guys. Now, if you don't want to go to them, you can spend up for a guy like Tyler Hero, $6,200, or Spencer Dinwiddie, a fine pivot at the similar price range. Karis LeVert, $6,400, makes a lot of sense as well. Going down the list of guys who are shooting guard eligible, Grayson Allen will play tomorrow. He was just ruled out just because of a back-to-back, came out late. I know a lot of people got burned by that situation. Unfortunate circumstance with Grayson Allen. I managed to get him out of my lineups once he was ruled a non-starter. But 11-game slate, things can change. Spending up on FanDuel. Actually, Chris Middleton, $7,700, shooting guard eligible. It's a back-to-back. He's coming back from a lower body injury. My expectations is he's good to go. I felt like if he wasn't, they would have rested him against the game against Houston and played him against Dallas. But I think Chris Middleton should play tomorrow. And I think Bradley Beal is a little too cheap at $8,300 for his upside. I know it's not happening as frequently as it was last year. Different role, but Bradley Beal is still an absolute bucket. Definitely you can take that price tag, and damn, Devin Booker is too cheap for his upside as well, $7,600. FanDuel has a lot of cheap spend up guys. Spend up as in the mid-tier guys who have 50-point upside at their price tag. There's a lot of those guys who have that in between 6 and 8K tomorrow. So it's going to be fun to spread that ownership around.
I'm very curious to see what Orlando, coming off of a win against this depleted Atlanta team, if they're going to keep the same starting lineup going forward. Something named Hassani Gravett ended up starting tonight. That's a thing that happened. I'm assuming he probably does again, 4,200 there, played like mid-20s minutes. But the guy that, just to be on lookout, again, he only played 20 minutes here tonight, but if Tim Frazier, for whatever reason, were to end up in that starting unit, I would have a lot of interest for mid-20s minutes of Tim Frazier. I'm just throwing him out because he's 3,500 on FanDuel. On DK, I'm assuming he's also the min. I'm just, once again, theorizing that maybe at some point, these guys have just been playing a crazy amount of minutes. Now, Cole Anthony could return, and then everything I say doesn't matter. You could just know that that's the case. But, looking at Frazier 3K on DK, and the min on FanDuel as well, those are both spots where, mid-20s minutes of him would be somewhat intriguing to me regardless. We've seen him in random spots, random stints, specifically New Orleans, be fantasy viable. So just throwing him out if you're trying to go really, really stars and scrubsy, but probably don't want to on an 11 game. We're just kind of talking through the process of it. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, there's going to be a Detroit guard who's going to be really good from the likes of Saban Lee, Corey Joseph, and Hamidou Diallo. Cade Cunningham has entered health and safety protocols. It's a pretty big deal. So one of these Detroit guards are going to be good. I'm going to be playing roulette with those guys tomorrow.
Well, hopefully Frank Jackson's out, and then they'll be uber chalk, and you'll get 30 minutes of these guys.
Yeah, and then I wouldn't mind Frank Jackson if he's even in, but I think my favorite one would be Hamidou Diallo. Honestly, I think his minutes seem pretty even more secure without Cade Cunningham. It's kind of a weird way to have more secure minutes the way the Pistons play, because there's no Killian Hayes as well. I don't think so. That's going to just be a backcourt that they rotate around those three guys, and Diallo is just going to be forced to play more minutes potentially at the two.
It was an incorrect report, by the way, today. I saw that came through because Killian Hayes is still fine. He's still in.
Gotcha.
So it would be great if he was out too, because then we just have uber value. But actually, it wouldn't be great because we'd have 50% owned Detroit guards. That sounds awful, actually. But Corey Joseph started there, 3,800. He only played a couple. He didn't play that much. It was kind of difficult to still. 23 and 24 minutes, he's put up under 20 fantasy points. You kind of need 30 minutes out of him. Killian Hayes, you probably wouldn't. Frank Jackson also can be a bucket. Saban Lee's up to 5K on FanDuel, but we've seen some massive upside from him when he's gotten run as well. 24 minutes, 33.1, 27 minutes, 42.2. Those are two of his last 5 games. So certainly fantasy viable. Somebody from Detroit will be. We just got to kind of figure out. But Hamidou, in the absence of Cade Cunningham, don't fade him.
The great pun.
Thank you. Going to Yahoo to the top of the card position. Again, I need to do really well in this 12 days of winning. I could use $5,000 right before the holiday. That'd be fun, Ryan. Yeah, who couldn't? It'd be really weird if you're just like, I don't want $5,000. DeJounte Murray, 99. Sorry, that's the wrong spot here. LaMelo Ball, $45. Steph Curry, $45. DeJounte Murray, $44. Correct sheet. Good job there. Trae Young continuing to be out there. John Morant, $41. Drew Holiday, $38. Really, really appealing option there. Brandon Ingram, our boy, going up against this depleted Orlando team, could just go out and go nuts. I saw Jonas Valanciunas was questionable. That is a massive piece of news on this slate.
He's out.
Oh, he's out. He got ruled out already? Yeah. I saw he was questionable. So we'll be talking Willie, who can I turn to? A little bit of that. But we're going to a lot of Brandon Ingram, aren't we?
Yeah, over here on Yahoo, I mean, there's a ton of spend down options. I think Brandon Ingram makes a lot of sense. There are so many guys priced under $15 that my eyes are just falling to. Kemba Walker, sub 15. He's only $14 yet again. It's the Kemba Walker show. Frank Jackson's 10. He's in play. Saban Lee's in play at $11. Duncan Robinson, $12. I think these guys all make for fine options to spend down for. If you want to spend up, I think Brandon Ingram makes for a great option at $35. Booker, $4 cheaper at $31. Makes a lot of sense. Going down the list, D'Angelo Russell on a tough matchup against Utah does have an upside at $30. He'll be very low owned. And honestly, that's about it. I think another guy to touch on is probably Karis LeVert, who's at 23. Yeah, I was doing a pretty good job with the pricing. God, it's going to be a spot where I think I'm going to spend down to Kemba. Makes a lot of sense to do that.
Yeah, $14 for Kemba is just a smash. You could find some upside from a guy like Duncan Robinson at 12, but Killian Hayes and Saban Lee both sitting there at 11, definitely going to be viable in some regard, whatever that starting lineup ends up being. So we'll be able to figure that out. But so many good mid-range options, and Kemba 14. Like, what an absolute smash that is. You know what else is a smash, Ryan? Playing on Yahoo for new users. New Yahoo users, $10 or more. This is all you got to do. Deposit $10 or more over at yahoo.com/fantasy. That's where you want to go, okay? You're going to deposit $10. You're going to play in any paid contest, the quarter, the $1, the $20 massive overlay. They have a $1 contest right now. I don't know if you saw this yet. With negative 900% management fee for Christmas Day. It's $1 and they're giving just $100K away to first. It is absurd for $1. I've never seen a contest like it. That's better than the NFL one that I remember. And it's Christmas Day DFS, which is maybe the greatest day of DFS of the entire year, in my personal humble opinion. Absolutely love the Christmas Day slate and looking forward to it this year. And you should be too. Go deposit and get this Yahoo promotion to get 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum, but not just NBA. That's NFL, that's MMA, that's NHL, that's every sport we have behind the paywall, completely free to you just by trying out Yahoo. $10. That's all it's going to do. That's $120 value going to you. Plus, if you deposit $100 with the promo code XMAS100, that is XMAS100. Look at me, I can spell. You can get $100 first match deposit bonus on Yahoo as well. So stop guessing, start winning. Join us here at Awesemo Plus through this promotion. But most importantly, go to Yahoo, where they're putting players first, and it is the best site to play on for DFS, bar none. Did you see that $1 contest? It's absurd.
Yeah, I believe they're giving away $1 million in that prize pool.
Yeah, $100K to first, $1 million in the prize pool because what? Also, it was your light like stuck on purple. It was like perfect there. There kind of that's like reddish. That's not as good. Cam Reddish, very good. Let's go to the forward position here. A lot of puns. Are you having fun? You're having more fun than yesterday. Admit it.
No, I would be if I had.
I said the trigger word. That's what it was. To the forward position we go. Let's move on. LeBron James 11-3. He's eligible there. Point guard, small forward eligibility on DK. Julius Randle 10-5. Domantas Sabonis 10-1 here for him. And now the minutes are, I mean, they got murdered to Miami. That's part of it. That was one of the more surprising outcomes, is that this B team goes out. They play no bigs. They just have Dedmon in there in the middle against Turner. And then they match up Max Strus out there in the starting lineup. And what do? They shoot the doors out of it. And just Eric Spoelstra is just better at life than most people are. He's pretty good at his job, I would say. So Domantas Sabonis now getting Houston, better spot for him. Brandon Ingram 9,600. That's expensive, but there's a ceiling there. And I'm going to try to make it a thing. Tobias Harris 9,200. Lots of pieces of news, but Joel Embiid is good to go here. It was nice to see Tobias Harris put together a decent game, 41 minutes, nearly 41 fantasy points there, but 9,200, it's just kind of an overpay. Once again, the Dallas situation, we're going to be waiting on Porzingis, but at 9K, that might be a tough one to get to. For me, I'm really kind of gravitating once again towards Mr. John Collins, gravitating towards kind of these mid-range guys. Even a Sadiq Bey, 6,700 just looks wrong. But in the absence of Cade Cunningham, everything's on the board. Talk to me about the top end of forward on DK.
Yeah, top end of forward, obviously headlined by LeBron James, 11-3. Can be the highest scoring player on the slate by 10 or more points tomorrow. And that's going to have some interest in myself for sure. I was heavy on him the other night. He worked out just fine. I think on an 11-game slate at that price tag, you want him to super smash. And he has that upside within him. He's just been carrying the load for this Lakers team with no Anthony Davis. And he's just trying to will his way to wins. It's LeBron has to carry this load right now. We'll see how that pans out at that price tag. Ownership's going to be low in my opinion, but going down the list, 8K Chris Middleton makes a lot of sense to target. With no Giannis still in a matchup versus Dallas, I like going to there. I think that's appropriately priced. All those guys priced above him seem a little too expensive for what he has for the roles and whatnot. We saw Draymond Green put up that triple-double. I like going to him yet again. Keep in mind, Damian Lee now has entered health and safety protocols. There's one less body there. This might cause guys in the Golden State team, guys like Bielitsa, Otto Porter to play some extra minutes in the wing. Damian Lee is a functional 2 and 3, so maybe Moses Moody gets some extra minutes we didn't touch on. I'm not that interested in Moses Moody, but we saw Kuminga start last game but didn't start the second half, so he was hurt. So keep an eye on that Golden State starting lineup because it's going to be different than last game. Spend down options on the forward position on DraftKings, guys who have forward eligibility. Cam Reddish yet again, $4,600 makes a lot of sense. Onyeka Okongwu, he has his minutes limit. He's $3,100. He's salary relief. I really don't have that much interest. He might be kind of popular the way he finished out the game tonight. Other guys who have forward eligibility on DK that you should take your chances on. $4,200 Jay Crowder in a matchup versus OKC isn't too crazy. Jay Crowder can knock down 5 3-pointers and get to 30 fantasy points at that price tag. I like going there, but Hamidou Diallo also has forward eligibility, only $4,400. for Detroit. Makes a lot of sense with no Cade.
Jaden McDaniels season part 2. This dude's 4,300. Naz Reid is questionable. Gigantic piece of news for me from the Minnesota side. Obviously, Karl Anthony Towns is there, but like legitimately, their forward position is Jaden McDaniels and Jake Layman. They're like the only two guys that would be able to play forward tomorrow for the Timberwolves. I mean, Malik Beasley can play the 3, but God, with Edwards out, with Okogie out, with all these other dudes, not questionable, Jared Vanderbilt out, Torian Prince out, the only two guys, Jake Layman might even be viable, but I'm not going to play Jake Layman on any slate. It's going to be Jaden McDaniels, 4,300. I don't know how I don't have just an absolute truckload of him. How about you? If Nas is out.
Sorry, yeah. Sorry, if Reid is out?
If Reid's out, you just fire up McDaniels at will, right?
Yeah, I think you could still go to him. I mean, he's fine fantasy point per minute. I don't know if he's fantasy point per minute. I think he's just
like 0.9.
Yeah, I think that's a fine option to go to at that price tag. I think he's already in play for the minutes he's going to play. I think I know Obi Toppin's returning. There could be a lot of Obi Toppin at the 5 potentially, but there's a guy in Taj Gibson who might steal those minutes. I think the Toppin at 3,500 is kind of in play. I like trying to take my chances on him in a Thibodeau rotation.
Jaden McDaniels, 0.67 DraftKings points per minute over the course of the last calendar year. So maybe off with that, but it's going to be a little different with no Anthony Edwards. It's going to be 30 plus minutes, maybe 40 minutes in this spot. So coming off a game where he looked really, really good, didn't shoot the ball a lot, played 39 minutes against Dallas. You give me 39 minutes of Jaden McDaniels. I'm going to take a lot of people that are 4,300, so long as they're not PJ Tucker until PJ Tucker went Super Saiyan over the last month, which still makes no sense to me. But that's just something to kind of keep a lookout for. And Dorian Finney-Smith, 5,900 looks really, really wonky, but same thing applies. 40 plus minutes of somebody pretty much guaranteed. That's hard to get away from in any spot. Josh Hart up to 6,200, and that's still doable concerning he's playing 40 plus minutes too. So that's the 40 plus minutes club. Jaden McDaniels, Josh Hart, Dorian Finney-Smith, all of them seem decent enough. Let's head to FanDuel. Top end over there. LeBron James, 11.4. We've got Kristaps Porzingis, questionable, 8,700. Brandon Ingram, 8,800. Small forward only. There we go. That's interesting. Miles Bridges, small forward only, 8,300. Chris Middleton, though, 7,700. We just fire that up at will. Rest of the spots here, Domantas Sabonis is down to 8,600. And Julius Randle is definitely going to have to probably play the 5 quite a bit, I would assume. Mitchell Robinson played really, really well there for a hot second. I think he gets the start. And we've talked about Taj Gibson. You know, that human being Jericho Sims exists. There's paths for that. But with Obi Toppin back, I could see Julius Randle sliding over playing some 5. They've done it before. I really don't know, but I don't really care. I think 8,700 for Julius Randle against Washington. You like that too, right?
Yeah, I think going to Julius Randle makes her a fine spend-up option. Power forward center eligible. Power forward center eligible. Julius Randle makes a lot of sense. He's a pivot off of potentially Draymond Green at $7,600. I think that's a night, or even Domantas Sabonis at $8,600. You've touched on John Collins previously. I think Collins is a fine option to go to at that price tag. But I think people are going to opt to spend down with the news of Jonas Valanciunas. I think Willie Hernangomez, $4,600 power forward center eligible, is going to be one of the most popular plays on the slate. Rightfully so in a matchup versus Orlando. There should be no reason for Willie Hernangomez to absolutely eat. I think Hernangomez makes for a fine play tomorrow. Cam Reddish also has small forward eligibility. Keep that in mind at $4,300. If you want to spend up a little bit, LeBron James is fine to do so. $11,400 makes for an interesting play. Miles Bridges has come down to earth a little bit. He'll be very, very low owned. I don't think it's that necessary. I'd rather save the $1,200 and go to a $7,100 Tobias Harris, who I think is like $1,000 too cheap. So really like Tobias Harris over there on FanDuel.
You know what? Buddy Hield is just out there laying bricks this afternoon. Wow. This evening here. It's 1 for 14 from the field. Is that good? Your boy. He's good at basketball, right?
He is good at basketball. He's just having a bad day.
You had a bad day. You're taking one down. Actually, no, he's not taking one down. That would make the ball go in, but he's not.
Look, he's had 3 good games. I mean,
he's been second half like salvaging everything. This is kind of fascinating. I mean, I don't think he's this bad. I mean, this is pretty egregious.
1 of 11 from 3 won't get the job done.
Yeah. We've got Tyrese Halliburton out there just murking fools again. They're down 13, but that's what the Kings do anyway. Tyrese Halliburton confirmed good at basketball. Let's go over to the forward spot here on Yahoo, and then we will get ourselves out of here again. A lot of news, a lot going to be happening. Make sure you check out the Deeper Dive and the Live Before Lock show. I'll be on Live Before Lock, of course. That's what I do. That's my place here. We're going to have a lot to discuss. And so 7 p.m. Eastern time lock for tomorrow. Lots of late swap abilities. You're going to want to play because you're going to have Friday. I don't know what I'm going to do Friday. Friday, Christmas Eve. Do we go spend time with family? Is that what we... Okay.
Let's go to the bowl games.
I think that there has to be a bowl game, and it's going to have like a 100K to first DFS contest for it. It's going to be, I'm going to find out what it is. We got to know what that Christmas Eve is because it's the only DFS thing in town. NHL, holiday break, COVID and everything else, but no football, no anything. Thursday night football and NBA tomorrow. That is the shows. Let's go to Yahoo. Top of forward here. LeBron James, $48. Porzingis, $37. Julius Randle, $37. That's a pretty nice number there. Domantas Sabonis, $36. Miles Bridges, $34. I mean, those are all going to be just like overpays for all of those guys, but I kind of like it. What really gets interesting to me is Franz Wagner. His price hasn't changed. He's $24. He's sitting there at that same number. Josh Hart's $23. That's kind of been adjusted. Dorian Finney-Smith, again, tons of minutes. Different situation, $20 there. Sadiq Bey, $19 without anybody there. But Jordan Nwora, also $16. This dude has been going nuts since he started for this basketball team the last 4 games. 34.7, 37.6, 44.2, 33.8, $16. He's just doing what we thought he would do at the beginning of the season. It's nice to see Jordan Nwora join the party, and at $16, I'll probably join the party, definitely. How about you?
Yeah, definitely. But I do think you're going to miss out on a $14 Cam Reddish and $11
$15 Chumo Kiki shit.
Yeah, so the opportunity cost is quite high. I think going to $11 Hamidou Diallo makes a lot of sense, even a $12 Otto Porter. So forward seems like I said you can spend down for Kemba over here on Yahoo. These are other guys you can be spending down. I mean, you can roster 2 of those guys I mentioned because of that forward eligible spot on Yahoo. If you want to spend up, I like Middleton's price tag at $28 a lot. I like that quite a bit. I think he just stands out like a sore thumb. So does Tobias Harris, also at $28. And we rattle off some great value at this forward spot where it's going to be tough to pivot off of those guys. It makes a lot of sense to go there. And Tobias Harris and Chris Middleton.
Buddy Hield for 3. It's a beautiful thing.
And we talked it into existence.
We did. He's now 2 for 15. There we go. It's beautiful. To the center spot. At least we haven't had any conflicting Buddy Hield takes because like he's been a good play forever. It's just there's nobody else there. It's kind of why. To the top of center we go. Nikola Jokic, 12-2. What do we say? Nikola Jokic basically got benched today, which is a weird thing. Can Malone do that? Can Malone do what he did to Nikola Jokic? I mean, it was egregious. He was definitely the bomb you needed to avoid on this slate. I did not completely avoid him, but at least I didn't have 100% of him, considering he was like raw point projected 14 point more points than everybody. Just a lot of centers. And are you reading anything into that? Are we going to be looking for coach speak in the aftermath of this absolute atrocious performance by Denver against Oklahoma City?
You just go back to Jokic, right? Recency bias, we get burned and we go right back to him. I mean, he's by far going to be the highest projected player on the slate, rightfully so. And yeah, I'll be going back. There's enough value to jam him in yet again on an 11-game slate. There's even more value. So yeah, I'll go back to Jokic. I have no issues of doing this. So kind of have to forget about what happened today. Hey, I got burned. So did a lot of people. I mean, Jokic was a great play. There's a ton of value. He's 12-2. He's expensive, but like I say, you got to pay for nice things, and Jokic is damn nice. So a 12-2 makes a lot of sense. If you don't want to go to Jokic, spending down, I did to guys like Gorgie Zhang, DeMarcus Cousins. That makes a lot of sense to me. I think those guys are fine options to go to. I think Miles Turner is a sneaky tournament option at $6,700. That makes a lot of sense. DeAndre Ayton continues to be a stud. I like going to him as well. And that's really about it. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see if we get a low on Jokic tomorrow just because of how bad he was tonight.
Yep, I'm just going to play a lot of him then here. Joel Embiid coming off a massive ceiling game. I do worry that Philly runs Atlanta out of the gym. Obviously, he would be responsible for that. But he's 12K there, just a big number. Karl Anthony Towns, tough spot against Gobert, but it's Karl Anthony Towns without Anthony Edwards. There's obviously upside. And I will say 9,700 looks weird for Gobert, but I don't really think it's that weird for the guy who's just rebounding at a clip that is not even normal. Like Rudy Gobert is snatching, like, what is his last two games? Let me box score this. 19 and 21 rebounds his last two in 38 and 36 minutes against Washington and Charlotte. Sure, Cat, better interior presence than any of them, but he's not necessarily good on the offensive boards. So like legitimately, Rudy Gobert 9,700. Yeah, looks weird, but fire it up. Same thing with DeAndre Ayton. OKC, we talk about these blowouts, but he's now had three massive games in less than 27 minutes because Phoenix is just better than everybody and they're better than OKC. But maybe if they don't blow out everybody by 30, he'll be viable at 8,300. Anything else to add at center?
No, I think you nailed that. I think you can go to Mitchell Robinson as well. I just think he'll be asked to play a lot more minutes with no Noel.
Yep, love that. And of course, the chalk of all chalk is going to be Willie Hernan-Gomez, assumed starter, sub 4K on DK. Just get ready for that. Buckle up. Going to be a bumpy ride. Him and Jokic, I love that combo. I don't think anybody could possibly argue against it. Let's go to the top end of FanDuel. And now it gets really fascinating because Nikola Jokic 11-3 is too cheap comparatively. I think it's just you kind of play him against the entire position. And Joel Embiid 10-7, Karl Anthony Towns 10-1, Rudy Gobert 9,500. Obviously, of all the power forward / center eligibility, DeAndre Ayton more advantageous tag at 8,100 over there as well. Jakob Poeltl's now up to 7,500 on the wings of some massive upside games, specifically that 50 burger in 29 minutes against the Clippers here. Lots of center plays. DeMarcus Cousins is up to 6K, which looks pretty wonky. Mitchell Robinson, 5,700. Again, he's probably going to be the starting center, but only played 24 minutes there against Detroit, 44.8. That's nice, but tough to kind of see that. What sticks out to you over here on FanDuel?
Yeah, Hernan-Gomez, $4,600.
A power forward eligibility, which is nice.
Yeah, he'll be even higher owned because of that, just because you can roster him in a couple of spots, and you can get the luxury of playing another center as well. I mean, I don't have no issues paying up for Embiid or Jokic here. I think both should eat and both have potential to be the high-scoring players on the slate. DeAndre Ayton has been smashing of late, and I like that 8,100 price tag for him. I think he'll be lower owned, and that's a nice way to get up on the field of DeAndre Ayton. I don't know. I mean, Robin Lopez continues to play.
I wish it was Robin Williams. Rip, missed that guy. Continue.
Yeah, Robin Williams. It did go to a local high school of mine for a little bit. So, but besides that fact, I think we can go back to Gorgui Dieng again. I know he was not that fun, but I think Gorgui Dieng is going to be needed for Embiid yet again. So I like going back to Dieng after he burned a lot of people tonight.
I don't think Okongwu is going to play tomorrow. I think that'll probably help. Well, back-to-back, coming off of massive injury, like, why would they play him on a back-to-back right now?
He had a shoulder injury, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was like a bad shoulder injury, though. I mean, it was massive shoulder injury. Again, it's not a lower extremity, so maybe you're right about that. But, like, he's kind of getting back into the mix. He's played 2 games. Are we just going to go out and play him? He's not playing enough minutes where it probably matters that much. That might be the key thing.
Yeah, that's his minutes. You'd like to see. I guess today was tough. I mean, Dieng didn't do amazing at that price tag. He did fine, nothing great. You'd like him to obviously get you mid-20s, and I think that's going to happen tomorrow. Fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm. Game low -23 plus minus for Gorgui. That's not ideal. Not ideal. And what was Okongwu? That's actually a good talking point just because of like how the way coaches. Yeah, Okongwu is +12 on the floor. Just get get ready for Kangwoo starting and we have to deal with that crap. That would be a disaster. Let's talk some, what are we on? Yahoo! We're going to round this out. Our sponsor, Yahoo. Let's finish this puppy. Nikola Jokic, $56. Really expensive compared to every other site. Joel Embiid, $50. Karl Anthony Towns, $40. You're getting a massive discount going down to Cat. Just throwing it out there. Rudy Gobert, $39. Christian Wood, $32. DeAndre Ayton, $28. I mean, Nikola Jokic, obviously, raw points. Yay, great, lovely. Are you still going to find ways to get him involved on Yahoo lineups?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of value to open up for that to happen. I'm not so interested in go to Jokic. I think we still get a Cousins at $12, which is exciting. I think you can definitely go there. Miles Turner's only 22. Mitchell Robinson's 18. So a little balanced build makes a lot of sense here. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, I mean, that price tag is very nice. I mean, how can you not like that price tag? Christian Wood's very favorable as well. There's so many great center options, not named Nikola Jokic at their respective price tags. DeAndre Ayton, sub $30 here, $28 for DeAndre Ayton. Yeah, I'm about it. I think Yahoo has loosened up their center pricing outside of Jokic and Embiid, and there's like, yeah, play some of our cheaper guys. So I think I definitely will play some of these cheaper center players tomorrow.
Yep, I think it makes sense to kind of do that. And again, the opportunity cost with Jokic is that he's going to be the highest guy projected by a ways. But you get to spend up at like every other position because he's 56. Giannis isn't playing. Joel Embiid's 50. And then $45 for Ball and Curry, 44 for Murray. Like, you're looking at a massive, massive haul that you need out of Jokic. You need 60 plus. You need 65 plus.
I think probably like 70 plus, and he's burning you. 60 plus, you can still definitely find a way to do well, but once you get that 70-80 territory, there's usually enough value to jam a guy in at that point.
Yeah, especially when you're talking 5% of the cap being $10. We're going to have a number of $10, $11, $12 options that we're looking at. So getting some raw points in there, never the worst thing, but so many good mid-range options. And that's really kind of the thing is you can get the combination of, a Drew Holiday at $38 and the combination of these other guys, Brandon Ingram, who I'm in love with at $35 tomorrow. Those are the kind of guys where I think on Yahoo, I'm going to prioritize them. And if I can get Jokic, congratulations. Yay. I'm firing it up. And if not, so be it. He's the best play, though, on the slate in terms of raw points, and nobody's going to argue that. So, Malone, just play him. How about that? Don't way to send a message to the guy who's like unquestionably the MVP, even on your 500 crappy basketball team. But whatever. Ryan, any final words for the people? Another slate starter in the books. We've got Christmas coming up. It's going to be lovely.
Some harsh words for Mike Malone there.
Oh, he's got to figure his shit out. It's important.
Yeah, I think it was a back-to-back, and he was just like, yeah, let's just rest him. And I think Jokic will be just fine. He'll come out firing tomorrow. So final words, good luck tomorrow. And more importantly, leave us a 5-star review. We'll be back for that exciting Christmas Day slate.
Oh, it's so beautiful. It is the best. It's the most wonderful slate of the year. I don't have anywhere to go but down from there. He's Ryan. He has a really cool light up thing that will hopefully turn purple, and hopefully I'll stall. Oh, I gotta point this way. There it is. And I'm Eric Lindquist. We'll catch you guys later.